What is life without meaning, Wanderer? It is chaos.
I'm Ben Fletcher, lead seasons designer, and I'm excited to share some details about the new season with you. The Infernal Hordes are hotter than ever because we're dialing up the intensity on this mode. We've done a significant rework of the Infernal offerings presented between each wave. Our goal is to try and make all of them feel like valid choices for you to build your run on. We've updated the balance of offerings, offering effects, introduced new challenges with the Fel Council, and introduced a new family of Chaos monsters. Within Infernal Hordes, you'll occasionally be presented with a Chaos offering as a fourth option, which will activate a Chaos wave. The more waves a compass has, the more Chaos offerings you'll see during your run. Chaos waves will have many different combinations to discover and master. Dodge deadly projectiles from Chaos rifts, slay rampaging hellworms, or defend an etheric mass from being destroyed. Chaos awaits. Rather than facing off against the Fel Council, you can choose to risk your hard-earned ether and throw down against the insidious, reborn Bartok to complete your Infernal Hordes run. It's worth the risk because slaying Bartok will reward you with Chaos Armor. Chaos Armor is a more powerful version of existing unique items that come with a diabolical twist. They always fill a different item slot than the original version, leading to entirely new ways of dispensing carnage. Chaos Armor can appear for helm, chest, gloves, pants, and boots. Chaos Armor's unique powers are also more potent than their normal counterpart. They always roll at maximum power, and they always have at least one greater affix. For release, there will be a list of generic Chaos Armor available to all classes, as well as class-specific pieces for players to choose from. Chaos Rifts are one-way portals from hell that spew demons and environmental hazards into the world. Seal them to stop the demon infestation and earn seasonal reputation and currency. They also feature a variety of other rewards like bonus XP, gems, and even Chaos Armor in Torment difficulties. You'll find Chaos Rifts and Hell Tides throughout Sanctuary. Closing these rifts will sometimes award you a Nightmare Dungeon sigil with the Chaos Rift affix. These Nightmare Dungeons are packed with Chaos Rifts and Chaos monsters for you to destroy, and you may even come across a Fleeting Compass. Fleeting Compasses activate a new pre-torment version of Infernal Hordes called Fleeting Hordes that adds some spice to your character leveling journey. Fleeting Hordes, you'll slay your way through 4 offering waves and face off against 2 members of the Fel Council for a big boost of experience and rewards. Chaos perks change how your skills function and enable you to create devastating combinations. Chaos perks come in rarities of magic, rare, legendary, and unique. You'll be able to equip 1 unique perk along with 3 more of any other type. Each class has access to 16 perks, 4 of each rarity and 4 class-specific perks. Now for our class updates.
Charles Dunn here. I'm a class designer here to showcase some exciting updates in the season of Infernal Chaos. Necromancers will have access to one of the most crazy and transformational chaos perks, Alter the Balance, which swaps the role of your core and ultimate skills. Your core skills will now have long cooldowns, but massively increased effectiveness, and your ultimate skills will only have an essence cost and no cooldown, but with a modified, weaker effect. There are a ton of new build possibilities with this chaos perk. Also, if you are ever unlucky enough to die, all of your minions will be resummoned whenever you resurrect from death. No longer will you have to spend a bunch of time finding corpses to resummon your army, you can get right back into the fray. Necromancer's new unique item is a focus, Gospel of the Devotee, which directly enhances your basic skills functionality and also makes them even more powerful when combined together. Be sure to pair this with bonuses to your basic skills like Aspect of Adaptability and Pain Gorger's Gauntlets to wreak havoc on the demons of Sanctuary. Rogue's Dance of Knives has previously struggled with priority damage. When an enemy champion monster showed up, it was tough to focus them down. But now, Dance of Knives will prefer to target enemy champions, elites, and bosses, giving you better priority single target damage. Penetrating Shot has also received some sizable buffs, including higher base damage and a higher multiplier on its unique bow, Eaglehorn. But if you would like to try out a slightly different playstyle, swap out Eaglehorn for the new unique crossbow, Orphan Maker. Orphan Maker introduces a new keyword, Reload, which causes a skill to be unusable for a short period of time after casting, but in exchange, it gains increased damage and reload time based on your attack speed. If you manage to find the Chaos Armor version of Orphan Maker, you can even combine this effect with Eaglehorn. For the Sorceress, Charged Bolts has been supercharged this season. Aspect of the Charged Flash has been reworked to cause Charged Bolts to spend your crackling energy charges for even more damage. Aspect of Piercing Static now causes your Charged Bolts to spawn even more Charged Bolts to flood the screen with electricity. The new unique ring, Galvanic Azurite, pairs perfectly with these updates. Lightning damage will magnetize enemies and cause them to be pulled together by your crackling energy. Sorceress has one of the most interesting chaos perks this season, Mana Shield. This effect essentially turns your mana into your life total and gives you plenty of extra mana to work with. And if you need to quickly heal up, avoiding damage for a few seconds will rapidly replenish your mana pool. While this is the season of Infernal Chaos, Druid's Tornado will be a little bit less chaotic. Tornado now always seeks enemies who are close to where you cast it, and then it spirals in an area nearby. Storm Chaser's aspect has been reworked to allow Tornado to drag enemies along with it, further increasing its damage and consistency. Druid's new unique pants, Kilt of Blackwing, lets a Raven's build take flight. By shapeshifting or casting companion skills, you will spawn additional ravens to peck at your enemies, and occasionally summon a full Unkindness, massively increasing your flock. Be sure to try out the Chaos perk, Wild Transformations, which uses defensive skills and grants a bonus while shapeshifting. This synergizes extremely well with Flesh Render to apply constant damage to nearby enemies. Barbarian's Walking Arsenal key passive has been slightly reworked and now grants Unstoppable and even more attack speed when keeping up all 3 weapon bonuses. If you don't like playing with all those weapons, try out the Chaos perk, Single-Minded Fury. This gives multiple, massive bonuses, such as the never-before-seen Overpower Chance. But you can only get these bonuses if you commit to only wielding a single arsenal weapon type. The new one-handed unique sword, Saber of Tassagal, increases your damage for each damaging skill you have equipped. This excludes buffing or defensive skills like Shouts, Wrath of the Berserker, and Iron Skin. But by combining your offensive skills, you can buff up your damage all the same. Spiritborn ultimate skills have all been buffed. The Hunter now gives a one-time chance per enemy to execute them, even if they are at full health. And the Seeker can now refund charges against elites and bosses. The Devourer gains increased scaling damage, while the Protector's upgrades have been streamlined and improved. Speaking of the Protector, the new unique gloves, Hesha Ikasungi, alters the Protector's targeting to let you cast it at range, and it will pull in enemies with each hit. Dedicated guerrilla builds will be ready to smash with this new power. The Chaos perk Combined Strikes is extremely potent, essentially doubling the output of your core skills, but it adds a long cooldown. You can get around this cooldown though by combining your core skills with your basic skills' third hit. These are just a few of the exciting updates coming in the season of Infernal Chaos.
I will deliver humanity from the natural order. I will be Sanctuary's ruin.
Thought that the changes have made to the live stream is positive. I like that introduction. Very good. Yeah, now they start talking about the learnings that they had from the PTR, about the seasonal armor and the seasonal perks in particular, where they're generally saying that they're keeping them the way they are, except for buffing some of them that were underperforming, nerfing a few, and I think fixing a few. The druid definitely comes to mind.
Wanted to encourage a lot of build crafting, where you like reevaluate how you want to set up your character, what legendaries and skills to use, and how it all works together. Much more so than in previous seasons, where some of the past seasonal powers were a bit more of an extra layer on top of your build. These seasonal mechanics, the chaos perks and armor, really worked to change your build at a fundamental level. We got a lot of great notes on every class, about builds that were working, builds that weren't, things that were a little too strong, a little too weak, because there's just so many interactions with all of these different chaos armor and chaos perks together. I think in broad strokes, we saw that some of the chaos perks, some of the more generic ones, were a little bit strong. They were kind of crowding out some of the more class-specific options. That's also a new thing that we've been doing this season with class-specific seasonal powers to really allow us to make more customized things for every individual class. So we took a pass to buff up a lot of the more class-specific ones, rather than nerf down too many of the generic ones that were slightly overperforming.
Yeah. So we've seen that everyone's really excited about Chaos Armor, and that is wonderful to see. And we got a ton of feedback about different items that people would like to see as Chaos Armor. And so we kind of collated all of that and thought about it, and we were like, well, here's like one class that we would love to add a piece of Chaos Armor to, another one, and then we were like, well, let's just add another one to each class. So we've added one more piece of Chaos Armor for each different class, and we just wanted to talk through it really quick about our choices and a little bit about what makes them special and cool. So Barbarian's going to be getting Ramaladni's Magnum Opus. It's a one-handed sword. It's kind of a more generic, it fits into a lot of different builds. It's kind of focused on Big Fury, which is cool because if you get it as Chaos Armor, you can kind of slot it into a bunch of different stuff, which is super fun. Druid's getting Dolmen Stone, which causes your boulders to spin around you, orbit around you, so you're going to be able to do some fun Chaos Armory stuff with that. Necromancer's getting Mutilator Plate as Chaos Armor, and that involves Blood Lance, so Blood Lance is going to be quite glorious in Season 10 if you can find yourself a Mutilator Plate on your boots or whatnot. And then Rogue is going to be getting the Scoundrel's Kiss, and that's one that causes your rapid fire to lob. And it's a ring, so it's nice to be able to move that to your armor slot and make your rapid fire stronger. Esu's Heirloom is going to be for Sorcerer. That one is, once again, kind of a more generic one, and you're going to be able to move it off your boot slot, so you might be able to put something else in your boot slot, which is kind of neat. And then Spiritborn is getting Sunbird's Gorget, I believe, is the item. And that one is about like Firestorm Feathers, and it's also an amulet, so moving it off of your amulet slot's insanely good because it retains the resist all bonus that amulets inherently get, but then you get to put it on another piece of armor, which is like amazing. So that one's going to be super solid too.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing like all the additional build possibilities now because we're adding additional Chaos Armor, so it's going to be really cool to see beyond what people did during PTR and what they got to experiment with. And was most definitely around boss immunity phases. And Ben, do you want to talk a little bit about some changes that are coming related to that? And we also got, because some people experienced a little bit of that in PTR, but then they gave us more feedback based off of stuff that was coming in Season 10. So do you want to give a quick update?
Yeah, so definitely had a ton of positive feedback on the boss immunity phase changes that we put into the PTR and that are being carried forward into Season 10. If you're not familiar with what that is, basically we took the immunity phases from the layer bosses, and anytime they would have an immunity phase, we've replaced that with a shield that can take damage, that can be blasted down. So if you're powerful enough, you can still, just nuke the boss and continue on your way as you're grinding out, but it still provides like a meaningful, significant challenge for less powerful characters. The thing that we did change coming out of PTR is we updated the Bartok fight at the end of Infernal Hordes to use the same style of shielding to bring that fight in line with our other layer bosses.
Yeah, I think.
Now, masterwork in tempering. this season, no changes. We are going to still be so frustrated with the masterwork and tempering. However, Season 11 PTR is going to introduce changes. This is damned good. So, I am really looking forward to the Season 11 PTR.
Some of the things that we talked about before, specifically around masterworking and tempering. And one thing that it's something that everyone's been talking about, we've been hearing for many seasons, something that we've addressed that we plan on actually making some changes for. Season 10 is a awesome season. It's going to be a long season through until we get to our next one. But I will say, of course, we always have PTRs, and we talked about how PTRs are incredibly important. The Season 11 PTR is going to be very important for people to jump into and actually test out specific things, because we are planning on making some big changes in regards to masterworking and tempering in that season. So we do want people to actually check that out. We'll have more information as we get closer to the PTR specifically, but I know it's something that, like, Aislinn, you have been like really focused in on. It was a topic that you had been talking about for many months. So, but yeah, Season 11 PTR is going to be really important for everyone to get that feedback. So make sure to jump in during that moment as you're playing through Season 10. We'll have that 11 PTR that will go up, so it'll be cool to see.
The patch notes are live now, so go check them out. I'll leave a link in the description to this video. A couple of things that I'll just put at the end here before signing off, so you can take a look and see what you think. Thank you for watching my video. If you've enjoyed, please do like and subscribe, and any comments would be welcome.